Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. And I just say at the beginning that it is already a memorable debate because two of my favorite panelists are there, and one of my favorite anchors is there. So it's a fantastic debate already, and they are so reasonable. They put their points so articulately. Before I come to three or four very brief points that I would like to make. May I please ask through you, Mr. Rahman, a very simple question. You see, at the heart of it, technically, there's an echo, Anand, if you could please get it removed.
Yeah.
At the heart of the Waqf whole imbroglio is the technical reason that it's a private matter. It is a Muslim or a Muslim community or an institute that is built by Muslims that decides a property that is to be donated for the cause of Allah. Now, it's a private matter. It's a religious private matter. So, a simple question to my good friend Rahmanji is, Rahmanji, would you mind if the Waqf board, the government intervention was removed altogether? The Waqf board became like any other board, private board managed by Muslims, Muslim community, and there was no Waqf Act. Would you mind that?
No, see, because now Waqf board in fact is having a proper legal structure now. No, that's what I'm telling you. Waqf board is having a proper legal structure now, and it is governed in fact by the Act of the Parliament, which is as per the Constitution of the country.
No.
So,
please understand what I'm trying to say. Please understand I'm trying to say. Waqf board becomes entirely private, managed by Muslims. They can include anyone they want, you, anybody else. But there would be no Waqf Act promulgated by the government or the state to run the Waqf board. What is your objection to that?
No, because see, we in fact are the law-abiding citizens, and we in fact want it to be governed as per the constitution of the country, as per the constitution of the country, I'm telling you. And so that is the reason, without violating the fundamental rights.
But okay.
Now I want to
okay, allow Dr. Ranganathan to complete.
Yeah.
This is the core that people don't talk about or haven't talked about for the last month. A private board is also unacceptable to them. Why? Because on the pretext that Parliament has promulgated the Waqf Act. They are saying we are going to use the Waqf Act as a weapon to weaponize the decisions of the Waqf board. Now, the Parliament has also promulgated a lot of things that you don't accept. You didn't accept CAA. You didn't accept abrogation of 370. On the other hand, you accepted Places of Worship Act that you bar others to not accept. So, what I am saying is, and here I come to the crux of the matter. You see, and I have, as I said, one of my favorite panelists is here, Mr. R.P. Singh. Others from the BJP have articulated the government's point of view beautifully. Shehzad being one, RPG another, Pradeep another, Sanju other. And I do understand. You know my point of view, Anand, but still I understand that perfect is the enemy of good. So in the state trying to improve, or let us say remove the problems of the Waqf board, it has made an amendment, perfect being the enemy of good. The problem I have is that it wasn't good at the first place. Let me give you an analogy. You know, we have our freedom of speech that was enshrined by Article 19 in the Constitution, and then Mr. Nehru came along and then demolished it using the First Amendment that had 4 clauses. Now, 2 of those clauses was that your freedom of speech is subject to public order and public morality. Now, let us say a government comes along and says, well, it's all relative and subjective. Let us remove public order. Fine. Perfect is the enemy of good. But still public morality remains. And your freedom of speech is subject to that. Now, who is to decide what? That is why there are so many draconian clauses in the amended Waqf Act that still remain. My question is, if there is no similar act for other religious communities, if, for example, there was one for the Hindus, Sanatan Act, and a Hindu board lay claim to Jama Masjid. After all, every mosque in India is on Sanatan land. And the Muslims were rightfully aggrieved. Now, the Muslims, the natural way for the Muslims would be to approach a court. But here, because of the act, the Muslims cannot approach the court. The Muslims have to come to the Hindu tribunal. And that would take a year. And deliberations that would possibly overwhelmingly go against them. Is that right? My, submission is that it cannot be right because it is unequal. That is why I asked Mr. Rahman point blank and he was caught. like a rabbit in front of headlights.
Allow me to say this.
If the Waqf board is made entirely private without any government intervention, why on earth should anyone have any objection to the complete removal of the Waqf Act?
So if the Waqf board becomes a private entity, the state boards also state Waqf boards also become private entity. There is no Waqf Act, and then they will be governed directly under the constitution and the court of law, because it will be asset and civil rights. It will be asset and property management. But 9.1 acres of land and the Musliman of Bharat are still backward. That means there is very poor asset management by the Muslims, especially when the Act, land, everything was of the Muslims, for the Muslims, by the Muslims of Bharat.
Let me slightly correct RP Singh ji also, because he talked about 9.8 lakh acres. You know, on the floor of the House, the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, gave the latest figures. Now it is astonishing. It is 39 lakh acres, but that's not the real story. The bomb is from 1913 to 2013. The Waqf controlled or claimed only 18 lakh acres.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, after the Waqf 1995 Act, they have claimed 21 lakh acres. Can you please explain how on earth in the last 10 years can a body, obviously the Waqf Act has weaponized it. They are claiming everything under the sun.
No, the very